So hey guys, so today this is a review question for the CCNA all chapters. So let's start. Number one is it uploads data files to the web server such as form data. So the answer is letter B. Why? Because post is uploads data files to the web server such as a form data. Second is domains for business or industry. Letter A is .com, letter B is .org, and .au. The answer is letter A because .com is a business or industry, while .org and .au is a non-profit organization and .au is Australia. .com is a domain for business industry. So the next is blank is an insecure method of remotely establishing a CLI session through a virtual interface over a network. So letter A is console, letter B is secure shell or SSH, letter C is telnet. This question answer is letter C because telnet is an insecure method or remotely establishing a CLI session through a virtual interface over a network. While console is a physical management and SSH is a method for remotely establishing secure CLI connection through a virtual interface over network. Next is in-network communication. Source the destination host use method to negotiate correct timing for successful communication. So letter A is access method, letter B is flow control, letter C is response timeout. So the correct answer is letter B. Why? Because flow control is a communication source and destination. Hosts use flow control methods to negotiate correct timing for successful communication. So let's proceed to the next. Is responsible for taking the formatted segments from TCP encapsulating them into packets, assigning them the appropriate address, and delivering them to the destination host. So letter A is HTTP, letter B is TCP, and letter C is IP. So TCP or Hypertext Transfer Protocol is an application protocol that governs the way a web server and a web client interact. TCP is the transfer protocol that manages the individual conversions. TCP divides the HTTP message into smaller fields called segments. And the correct answer is letter C or Internet Protocol. Internet Protocol is the responsible for taking the formatted segments from TCP, encapsulating them into packet, assigning them the appropriate addresses, and delivering them to the destination host. So next is display the content of the IPv4 routing table stored in the RAM. Letter A say show IP route, show interfaces, show IP interface. So the answer is letter A. Why? Because the IP route A is a display contents to the IPv4 routing table, while the show interface and the show IP interface is display the IPv4 statistic only, while show IP route is content of the IPv4. So see the difference. The correct answer is letter A. Next is in blank frames are stored in queues that are linked to specific incoming and outgoing ports. A frame is transmitted to the outgoing ports only when all the frames ahead of it the queue have been successfully transmitted. So the correct answer is letter C. Why? Because port-based memory buffering is a memory buffering frames that are in queues that are linked specific incoming and outgoing ports, while letter A and letter B is a pre-switching or fast-forward switching. So the correct answer is letter C. Next is the process of sending a packet from one host to selected group of hosts possibly in different network. So the letter is unicast, broadcast, multicast. So the answer is letter C, multicast. Multicast is the process of sending a packet from a host to a selected group of hosts possibly in different network. So the unicast is the process of sending a packet, and broadcast is a sending of packet from one host to all hosts. By multicast is different networks, possibly in the different networks. So the next question is, blank is a transporting an IPv6 packet over an IPv4 network. So the correct answer is letter B, the tunneling. Because tunneling is a method of transporting an IPv6 packet over an IPv4 network, while dual stack and translation is a IPv6 enabled devices to communicate with IPv4 enabled device using a translation technique similar to NAT for IPv4. So the correct answer is letter B, the tunneling. So most network allocate addresses dynamically using dynamic host configuration protocol or DHCP. This reduces the burden on network support staff and virtually eliminates entry errors as well. Addresses are only leased for a period of time. So um, the correct answer is letter A, end user clients. So end user clients is a most network allocate addresses dynamically using a dynamic host configuration. The DNC is letter B is they should have a predictable static IP address, use a consistent numbering of system of this device. The answer is letter A. Blank is similar to traditional subnetting in the bits are borrowed to create subnets. The formula to calculate the number of hosts per subnet and the numbers of subnet created still apply. Letter A is BLSM subnetting, letter B is flow control, letter C is response timeout. So the answer is letter A because letter B and letter C is flow control is in-network communication source and destination hosts use flow control methods to negotiate correct timing for successful communication. Letter C is response timeout. Hosts on the network also have rules that specify how long to wait for responses and what action to take if a response timeout occurs. So the answer is letter A. Next is where data is encoded using wavelengths from the electromagnetic spectrum. Letter A and letter B and letter C. Metallic wires within cables, glass or plastic fibers, wireless transmission. The correct answer is letter C, the wireless transmission. Why? Because the metallic wires within cable, data is encoded into electrical impulses. The letter B is a data is encoded as pulses of light. The correct answer is letter C, wireless transmission. So the next is blank device convert analog into digital IP packets. The device could be an analog telephone adapter or ATA that is attached between a traditional analog phone and the Ethernet switch. So the letter A is a IP telephony real-time application. Letter A is the correct answer because IP telephony is an telephony that IP phone itself perform voice to IP conversion. Real-time application is a transport streaming media. Effectively, the network must be able to network application that require delay sensitive delivery. So next is it is a list of devices that use or comprise the network. Letter A is network documentation. Letter B is device inventory. Letter C is budget. So the correct answer is letter B because letter B is a device inventory. While letter A is network documentation is a physical and logical topology, but letter C is itemized IT budget including fiscal year equipment purchasing budget. Though the correct answer is letter B because it's a list of devices that use or comprise the network. So next is the blank is dynamically generated by the sending device to identify a conversion between two devices. This process allows multiply conversion to occur simultaneously. Letter A is a source port number, letter B is destination port, letter C is socket pairs. Um, The answer is letter A. So, because destination port is the client places a destination port number in the segment to tell the destination server what server is being requested. For example, when a client specifies port 80 in the destination port, the server that received the message know that web services are being requested. So the letters is socket pairs. The combination of the source IP address and source port number, or the destination IP address and destination port number, is known as a socket. So the next is unidirectional communication, where flow control, error detection, acknowledgement, and error recovery is not required or can be handled by the application. Example include SNMP and TFTP. So the correct answer is letter C. The application that handle reliability themselves. So next is the a network infrastructure that provides access to user and end device in a small geographical area, which is typically an enterprise, home, or small business network owned by the managed by an individual or IT department. The answer is LAN, or local area network. So a network is a wide area network. So it's a wireless area network, a network infrastructure that provides access to network over a wide geographical area. And the metropolitan area network is a network infrastructure that spans a physical area larger than a LAN but smaller than a WAN. So the correct answer is letter A, the local area network. Next is the portion of the OS that interacts directly with the computer hardware. So letter A is a shell, kernel, hardware. So the correct answer is letter B, shell, kernel, and hardware. So the correct answer is letter B, kernel, because shell is the portion of the interfaces with application and the user. Letter C is the physical part of computer including underlying electronics, but letter B is kernel, the correct answer. Interacts directly with computer hardware. So let's proceed to the next. The blank are the electronic hardware devices, media, and other connectors that transmit and carry the signal to represent the bits. The correct answer is letter C, signaling, because signaling is the no. The correct answer is letter A, the physical components, because the physical components are the electronic hardware device, media, and other connectors that transmit and carry the signal to represent the bits. While letter B and letter C is encoding and signaling. Encoding is a method converting a stream or data bits into predefined code, but signaling is a electrical, optical, or wireless signal that represent the 1 and 0 on the media. Next is provides better noise protection. The UTP cabling compared to UTP cable blank is significantly more expensive and difficult to install. Letter A is a unshielded twisted pair, or UTP, shielding twisted pair, or STP, and coaxial. The correct answer is letter B, the shielded twisted pair. By coaxial is two conductors that are the same axis, a copper conductor used to transmit the electronic signal. And letter A is unshielded twisted pair, is a used for interconnecting network hosts with the intermediate networking device such as a switch and router. So the encapsulation process contains the layer 3 PDU, and a also provides for data link addressing. So the correct answer is letter C, addressing. Ay, B pala. So letter A is a frame delimiting. The framing process provides important delimiters that are used to identify a group of bits that make up a frame. This delimiting bits provide synchronizing between the transmitting and the receiving nodes. So letter C is error detection. Um, each frame contains a trailer used to detect any transmission. So that's all, and thank you for listening and watching. That's all for the review question of a CCNA So thank you and goodbye. I hope you learned something to my blog. This is the red wait um the red word is the correct answer and the black is a wrong answer. This is a explanation correct answer is why the correct answer is we need to answer, and the black word is a wrong answer. This is the explanation while the black word is a wrong answer. So thank you and subscribe my channel. So I hope you learned something from my blog. Goodbye.